Hi, this is Christina. So I wanted to talk today about how you know when your angels or your God or your universe is communicating with you through releasing. Because remember, you release to get back messages on how to fix these things or how to make them better or what to give away, what to even move on from. So I want to talk a little bit about how I receive messages. I don't know that this will be the way everybody receives messages, but I can talk about how my husband and I get messages quite often. So one of the big ways we get messages is we'll see numbers. And I'm not just saying you have to see them repetitively, but you'll see them at odd times. Like, we will be talking about something and we'll realize that right at that moment we'll look at our clock and it'll be 12:12, and it hits because it's not only did we just see that accidentally, but it hits at the time we're talking about something, and so we know it's a clear message, and because we know that's a clear message, we'll go ahead and stop what we're doing and just look at what that message says. And you can Google this anywhere, and there's books about angel numbers, and it'll tell you, and you can look, there's different versions of what different people believe and see what resonates with you. And I would say that's one of the biggest ways you're gonna get communicated with is through numbers, these angel numbers. They're everywhere, and they don't always have to be like the 12:12 or the 11:11 or 10:10. I remember one time I woke up for no reason, and I just looked at the clock, and I can't even tell you now what time it was. But I just suddenly felt the need. I had to wake up at that second, and I don't know why I looked at my clock, and there was a time on my watch. And I had done a release that night, and so I just happened to see that, and I looked up what the number meant, and it really resonated. It was actually on spot with what I had released the night before. It was like exactly what I was looking for, and it was a strange number. It was, I think, like 223. It was bizarre, but know that these numbers will come, and they will come a lot, and as you're working and really working and remaining open, you'll see the numbers start appearing all the time. They just come and come and come and come, and you just have to be open to that, and you have to see which ones resonate you. Sometimes you'll just see numbers because you're on the right track, and you're like, thank you, I see the numbers, I'm on the right track. Other times you'll see the numbers and you'll say, gosh, what does that one mean? For instance, I just happened to be looking at numbers yesterday. I said, oh my gosh, and it was a Powerball draw, and I said, gosh, I see the 21 being pulled as the Powerball, and sure enough, it was the 21. It was the Powerball number, and so we went to go look up what 21 meant, because it's such a weird thing that I had this intuition about it. Then it was pulled, and it wasn't just pulled in the Powerball, it was pulled in another place as well. And so we knew, we need to look up the 21. What does that mean? Because it just so happened that I saw that. Another way you will get it is through conversations. My husband and I will talk a lot about what we're releasing the night before, the day before, and we'll just start having discussions. And while we're talking, it's like someone is whispering in your ear, and you kind of change the conversation to answer yourselves. We'll be talking about, we'll be releasing, work on my, just hypothetically, if I was having problems with my work, I might do a release on something that happened at work, and then I'll be talking to him, and then it's like an answer is shot into my ear, a whisper, or to my husband's, because we will talk about something that we weren't talking about, but it's actually the answer to what we were asking. And if you're open with that, you'll be surprised. Sometimes I'll just be looking through, for some reason I'll just open an article that means nothing, that I don't, I'll just be looking through something, and it'll, inside that article, whether the outside said it or not, it will actually be about what I was thinking, what I was releasing the night before. Like for instance, I just happened to scroll across a feed on Instagram, and it was talking about seen that, you need to understand the need for 444 in your life. And it was bizarre. It was like, what that's a weird thing. There's, and it was just strange. It had no place where it was. And so I looked it up, and it did really resonate with what I was thinking about and what I was working on. And then I went back to, after I got out of it, I went back to Instagram, and that whole thing where it had been was gone. So that was just there for me to look at 444. That was just there for me. So those are some of the biggest ways. I do personally, and my husband doesn't have this, I will actually almost hear like whispers in my ear. And I know we're like, oh, are you hearing, is this a voice in your head? It's not, because it's not like I'm actually hearing it. It just kind of comes over me, like as if someone whispered, but I can't really hear them. It's like a thought. Like the other day I was releasing some stuff that happened at work. And we were grocery shopping, and out of nowhere, just this thought about work came over me. And when I got home, it actually, really overtook me for a moment. And when I got home, I mentioned it to my husband. I said, oh my gosh, this thought came over, and it wasn't very pretty. It wasn't a great thought. And we got to talking about things, and I realized that there was some areas I was really holding on to that I needed to let go of, and so it was just great. I'm like, oh my gosh, my angel did communicate with me the best they knew how, and gave it to me at the perfect time, and gave it to me in a way that I couldn't just ignore it and let it go. It really, really hit me. So these are all ways I get the communication. My husband, he gets it in different ways. Like he was walking through a bookstore and picked up a book and opened it. It was a book of affirmations. And he just happened to open it to manifesting money. And it was actually, believe it or not, for an affirmation book, it was a really small piece. It was just like a page of a small book. And the rest of the book was all on these other manifestations, like better health and better life, all these other things. But he said, gosh, I was just working on money, and here's this thing on affirmations for money. He said, I'm on the right path. I see that. I just maybe need to do more affirmations. So if you're open to these communications, they will come. They will come. If you're having trouble, though, one way I often do is meditate. I'll just release things, and then the next day, or even that same day, whatever you want, I'll meditate. I am open to all this stuff because I've been doing this now for a little bit. But I tell you, once I just became available to it, they came no problem. The moment I was like, I'm here to receive messages, or I started to recognize the messages that were coming, it became easier and easier to see them and have them come, and they came faster because I expect it now. So for instance, I did a big release last night on the law of attraction. I really want to understand this law of attraction. I feel like, that there's just things missing when you want to attract something. For me, I've had this goal of attracting, a large sum of money. And so I said, please God, tell me. And I said, I'm going to cram all this stuff in. I'm not even going to tell you all the work I've done, or all my beliefs, or all my problems with the law of attraction. I'm just going to jam it all into this ball. And especially since, I've created this page on this releasing technique, I said, you got to show me I'm on the right path here. You have to show me that this is right. This is that what I'm doing is the right thing, because, I've had some great success. I've made a lot of changes, and my life is getting so much better from this, but I need something that shows me I'm really doing this correct. And so I sent it off. And then today I decided to meditate on it. I felt a real strong need to meditate, and that will come, especially comes from me. Not everybody meditates, and I don't meditate on scheduled time. I meditate as I feel like things are coming, or I'm not hearing answers, I'll go meditate on them. So I meditated with an I am statement, because I'm really big on learning this I am stuff. That's a whole nother release that came. But so I decided to do an I am abundance. And so I laid down, I put on the meditation music with headphones because it helps me tune up the world. And I laid there and I said, I am abundance, I am abundance. In my head, I just kept repeating it as I let myself go into a quiet meditation. And I use that sort of like the Om method, it creates a pattern where you can really relax. Plus it sets your tone on what you're trying to do. For me, when I meditate. It really sets a neat, like, it helps me go where I need to go and stops me from thinking about things I don't need to think about. So anyway, during this meditation, I felt myself, I always put it as, an astral projection. I left my body. I've done this in the past. It took a while to accomplish this, and I don't know that it's something I'm good at. I would never say, oh my gosh, I can. I just know I did it in the past. I had a friend that worked with me quite a bit on it a long time ago, and I haven't really been achieving it fully over the past few years since that friend's not been so active in my life. But I felt my body become, it's almost like locked down. You can't move your limbs, and you can feel yourself leaving your body, and you can see your body. I don't know that I go anywhere, but I saw that happen. And then I could feel a presence with me, and that presence said to me something, and I wasn't sure what, but I was still saying this same I am thing. I am abundance. I am abundance. As this was happening, I am abundance. And I could see my body wasn't moving, but I was just hovering above it. And then out of nowhere, it's like, and I said, there's like a presence with me. I'm not scared. It's okay. And I felt all of a sudden my words switched to I am the law of attraction. And I don't know how long I was there for, but I couldn't stop saying this for the remainder of the meditation. It just continued. I am the law of attraction. I am the law of attraction. And I said it so much in this meditation that it became real. All of a sudden, I was the law of attraction. And it was like, here you go. This is what you need. You need to say, I am the law of attraction. That is your I am. You have to actually be one with the law of attraction. You have to be with this. You can't, say, oh, I'm abundance. You have to actually be the law that attracts things. You have to be one with this. And it was just amazing. I mean, it was such an amazing, powerful experience and such an amazing amount of type of communication. And I came out, and it has made a huge difference. I mean, and this just happened. This is not like weeks ago. This happened today, right before. And my husband's like, "Oh, we really need to tape this," because I came out and actually was a little groggy afterwards. I wasn't like, wow, I feel like a new person. It's tiring and wearing to do some of this, but I do. It has no. I can't stop saying this in my head. I am the law of attraction, but it's really making sense to me, and I am so thankful this happened, and I'm so blessed that this has happened. And so for me, that's how I get these messages, and I love them. And I'm not sure what messages you're getting. I would love to hear. You can leave comments down below. If you have any questions for me, you can also leave comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to everybody about how I am doing this, or answer you on maybe some problems you're having with it. I know it is it's something that it's new. No one's really done this much before. So anyway, and I'm new. And I'm doing this live with you. I'm doing this as it happens. I'm telling you. So this is not something I've just mastered. I'm mastering it with you. So anyway, good luck, and please let me know what's going on, and have a great day.